later.
In the span of a single
were on the
human
moon.
life, we went from horse and buggy to cars, airplanes, manned space flight, men on the moon.
How do we explain that? Aliens.
Well,
Roswell.
if
Everything. Well, I mean, guess what? You want to get into making props? Do you like sanding?
yeah,
Yeah, because we're going to show you how to
Yo,
sand.
dog, we heard you like sanding.
Yeah, we heard you love sanding. So you got to sand everything. You got to sand before you paint. You got to sand before you glue. You got to sand down your print lines. You got to sand down everything.
Yeah.
Hey, just want to start out the episode today with showing you I'm a Star Wars. Yeah. With my Walmart helmet, because, Grogu gets that nice Beskar stuff while the kids get the $20 Walmart costume. I support children. It did. I admit it. When they showed that episode and you saw that T-visor, the first thing you had to think of was the big visored clone trooper helmets for kids at like Walmart.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of made me think of those.
Yeah,
but I haven't combed the toy aisles in a while.
I don't know if they're even in the toy aisle anymore. But that's one of the first things I ever thought of. Was like that poor child's just getting the leftovers. But I guess today is going to be talking about prop extravaganza.
Prop extravaganza.
Prop extravaganza. Because we kind of got the table loaded out here with a little bit of everything that's been going on. And like by the time y'all see that, either this stuff's already available, it will be available, we'll have completely finished versions of it. So that's just something that really progresses as we go. Like when we started this series, not started, but did the major, hey, this is all the things going on announcement. This was like one of these, hey, here's a 3D print, it's going to be molded. And then it went to, just drop it, let's do a durability test.
No. You can drop it. I'm not going to drop it.
To now we're sitting on, a 99% finished helmet right here. It's just missing the little teeth things in the front because the paint's still drying. I should have painted them yesterday and I didn't.
Getting a little,
we got
little
nice,
high from the paint fumes here.
Yeah, we may have to move this off in just a second. It's it needs to air out for.
Well, we got to make room for the other stuff we're going to be showing off anyways.
Which I mean, going back to the paint episode that we did, this is actually paint that's maybe 5-6 years old now. I had a can of the tank green that we were using and stirred it up yesterday and went, let's see if it works. And
looks like it
works.
did just fine, yeah.
It works. So, like other stuff, you know what? I will do us all a favor and just go ahead and move this. We've seen it. Yay, it's here.
It is really cool to go from conceptual product to, finished,
we'll move the
fully painted. That is pretty cool, though. We'll need to do like a little side-by-side, pull-up stills from the older episodes.
Sure.
And that'll be cool.
You can see my beard length changing each time. Did he shave last night? Is it 2 weeks out? Is it 3 weeks out? Which one is it? And that's the one constant. Is it the Faux Hawk episode? Is it? Which one?
Yeah.
I mean, fun fact, because we were talking about this before we started. Prop extravaganza. This is the things that you can do this day and age. I am not joking. This helmet started printing yesterday afternoon before I left. And the face and the blinder, or the face and the rear were done in the morning. The dome finished 2.5 hours ago. Got washed and cured and everything slapped together real quick. This is a fun one. I mean, we are going to offer this. It's another one of these great files that came from Mystery Makers. So you can follow them on Etsy and YouTubes, and they got a Patreon. We're a subscriber on their Patreon there. So yeah, this will be available, and we don't want to leave the kids out. And I think the kids really deserve some high quality, good looking stuff. I mean, we can poke fun about what the production decided to do with giant visors, but function wise, you're a kid, you're going to need a better,
Yeah.
visual.
Yeah, a
area.
little kid is going to need to see better. Putting this on your 8-year-old or something like that, they're still learning how to walk. So
Essentially, yeah.
they don't need to be relearning how to walk.
And this one
So
specifically is going to be going for my daughter if it fits on her head. Which
It'll fit on her,
I'm gonna
yeah.
take that home tonight and slap it on and see what her reaction's going to end up being. Honey, do you want to wear it or not?
She's going to throw a fit.
Yeah, probably. Oh, she keeps screaming, I want a helmet, I want a blaster. It's like, okay, well, we'll do you a little Mando costume with us and see how it works. I've already got everything we need kind of picked out. I'm going to print a few little other things for her, see what happens. And, is this going to be a 30-minute adventure, or is she going to gut out a full day at a convention with us? And then she can start picking her colors. I want a pink.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. It's going to be pink.
Dude, when
Let's do a pink stripe.
when the girls were young, my dad gave Gwen an old cast iron bed frame, and as a family project, he and she sanded old paint off of it and repainted it. And Dad let her pick the colors, or I whoever it was, we let her pick the colors, and she wanted pink, purple, and lime green. Could you imagine?
When you go on the color wheel, though, the purple and the lime green, they're the ones that go together. So
But
she's
could
not
you
wrong.
imagine Cora's gonna want something like that? Pink, purple, and lime green, like
goodness.
neon pink, bright purple, and lime green or something like that.
We'll be able to find her in a crowd.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's okay. And if you're a girl and, we want you to get into this with us, because she gets dragged along to the conventions and whatnot with us. She's already done well as her little TIE pilot thing that we did for her. So, this is just the next evolution, at least for the next few years with her, until she decides that she's just too cool.
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
seen
When
with Mom
she
and
when she
Dad in
starts realizing
costumes.
that she can't like the stuff that Mom and Dad like because
Well, I don't like Roblox. I guess it's fine. You're allowed to like what you don't like and what you do or don't.
Oh yeah. That's fine.
Here's another cool one. So we saw this in season 3 of Mandalorian, and we were just doing this before camera too. I loved the way that this designer did the breakdown. A piece of sandpaper hasn't touched this yet.
I just think it's a really ingenious way of doing it. Everything
was
fits
smart.
together
You easily
nice
could have
pressure
just been
fit.
oh, you can glue this on, you can do this, that, the other, but yeah, no sandpaper. Haven't cleaned off any of the old support marks. It's just been washed. And
Yeah. So if you're rocking around a convention with this, even if your glue starts to fail and it it's not going to pop apart easily. Everything needs to it fits together like a puzzle.
pretty much well engineered.
Yeah, very well thought through on his design.
Yeah, I think this one
So,
came
I didn't
from,
have that one in right.
I want to say Dungeons and Blasters on Etsy. Yeah, he's a newer designer. He doesn't seem to have a lot of stuff out. I ran across the file from the 1st Imperial Stormtrooper Detachment. They're doing a build thread on the Super Commando stuff, and somebody had I think his name was Pyro, had the link up, clicked on it. It's like, hey, for a $5 file, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was worth every penny. Man, I paid $20-$30 for a file before and been like, this is trash. So
And he nailed his sizing, at least for somebody like me. The sizing is really good. Like we were talking, before we started filming, the grip and the trigger in costume are often very poorly done. The grip is comically oversized or so small that it disappears under your hand. Same thing with the trigger guard. You can't, on most blasters with a glove in your hand, you can't get a finger in there to stage for photos.
Yeah, biker scouts are holding their blaster just like this. You can't even get your whole hand into the trigger
it's just
guard.
so tiny, and this one, the sizing is just really perfect. I mean, at least for me.
And to break down what this gun really is, it is like the Imperial version of a Westar 34. So you've basically got the SE-14 on the lower, or 34. 34 was Django's. 35 is the standard Mando. Then the Westar 35 across here. So, those good old Imperials just stealing everyone else's technology and incorporating into
How do
their
you know
own.
they stole it? Maybe they licensed it. We talked about that in the previous episode.
Here we go with more intergalactic copyright law. Well, it's the Empire, but at the time of this design, they were not the ruling government, so they just do what they want. Yeah, at that point,
Possibly.
they can just absolutely do what they want. So this is going to be one of the little offerings we'll hopefully have to go along with our Super Commandos. I'll just keep ditching the table so we can get to the piece de la resistance. So please correct my horrible.
It's pièce de résistance.
All right, Frenchie.
You said correct you.
I'm sure it was horrible. So it's not together yet. It will be soon. This was our first Super Commando jetpack that we got off the printers. Wonderful design by Big Fred's Customs. And I think Cam and Leon had a little bit of a hand in some of the design because he's credited. It also comes with the JJ Industries mounts. So this is what they used in season 3 to mount the jetpacks. So this is the top. So you have one of these on each side. So this part here is mounted to your back plate with all the little holes. And then this part here just kind of goes whoop and holds your jetpack in place. And then that one there.
Oh, this is a slightly different one.
Slightly
I
different.
see.
It goes on the, it's actually a found object. I can't remember what it is. But it's more of an alignment peg. So those two go on. So that'll let the jetpacks just kind of fall right onto your back plate. When you see Din Djarin pull it off of the Super Commando and kind of just throw it on his, that's how he does it. So that'll be kind of an added bonus too. So you're going to have season 3 Din Djarins running around with these jetpacks too. We have a local that we're doing a Din for, and I'm kind of trying to convince him to go into season 3. Not only can he use this jetpack, but he can also take those dual wielding pistols and just shove them into his belt like he had at the end of the episode. No holsters, just shoved straight into your belt. Looking at the durability concern?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm thinking.
So if you go on JJ Industries, like we'll be providing all this with him anyway. He sells these as aluminum discs, machined aluminum.
Yeah.
They're I don't remember, it's 55 pounds or $55. That's what he sells them for. So if you want to be sure that it's durable, by all means, go to JJ's and buy his. This was all like collaborative efforts among all these prop makers. The way we're going to do them to start is I'm going to bolt them. I'm going to run a bolt straight through.
Yeah, that would help reinforce.
And see what that does. Because I'm not too concerned about the durability, but we'll see. Worst case scenario is get a small washer that goes on this and then bolt all that straight through. Adds a little durability.
Yeah, and you've got plenty of room inside the catch cup here. You know, even if you were to have a washer with, you know, the top of a hex bolt or something sticking through, you'd still have plenty of room in here.
So they have little pockets here in the back.
And it drops into the pocket.
There you go. It just drops
like
straight in.
That.
They'll glue in.
Oh, it's a good snug
perfect
fit. Yeah, just a little bit of glue in the bottom of there. It'd be great.
The way these guys coordinated with each other to make this stuff a reality. I'm basically just the print monkey. I can't take any credit for the design. But, I mean, I've credited them every step of the way. The design elements that they've done have just been amazing. I just get to come in on the back end. Like, this is the little top vent that'll go right here. And you can find these little lights on Amazon. I got it. Okay. So it's just going to be that simple. You know, we're already sitting there glowing. It's kind of washed out on camera.
There you go. Yeah.
But
so
we've
it's
set it
definitely
up.
You know, as you're walking around your vents, you've got, you know, a glow like it's actually, you know, prepped and ready to blast or something.
These will also be working on the bottom ends. At this stage for us, we just have to figure out how to make it easy for everybody. So we've already got a built-in diffuser. You can do other things too, like use some parchment paper to diffuse it a little bit more. These are neat because they have color change options. So if you want purple thrusters, okay, you can have purple thrusters.
Yeah.
That's just the push of a button. And then we're also going to be working out how to get our smoke effects, which shouldn't be too hard. Because whenever we were looking at the overall design of the jetpack, I got to kind of push everything apart to show
the way everything kind of slots together.
It is hollow, And the bottom grill will be able to be made removable. Throw some magnets in, a piece of steel. You'll be able to put all your electronic access down there so you can refill things, make sure your batteries are topped up, and then, you know, pop it back on and you're good to go.
And the idea, the reason that it was hollow is the idea, you know, we were talking about
weight,
using like,
for one,
well, weight's
right?
a big part,
Keep this
but
weight down.
being able to put in a, you know, a smoke device of some sort made from a vape pen or things like that. There's a number of different ways people could do it. So
yeah, I can't wait to get some of this stuff actually started and assembled. Yeah, because I mean, overall, this was kind of the last piece we needed for the Super Commando project. It's done. It's printed. All the print files got reset for efficiency, and totaling it up, it's a little over 2 full days of printing over 6 printers. It's about 210 hours total print time, which really isn't that bad. Because this kit was planned to be partially vac formed, but mostly printed to retain as much of the detail as possible.
yeah.
I could see doing some more parts formed.
And you're going to be offering these kits printed and everything.
The initial thought was, hey, we'll do shells and we'll be able to rotocast them. But by the time I looked at the costs of everything that's going on, it's really gotten to the point where it's almost as efficient to just print it.
Yeah.
May not be able to pop it out quite as fast, but that's just how it is. And I personally enjoy working with these prints because there's really no major print lines you have to worry about. If the camera can even pick it up, I mean, we're talking about microns right here.
I mean,
just microns.
I can see it when I look at it, but when you throw just the tiniest little bit of paint, you can sort of see, if you look at the monitor over there, you can sort of see those lines, but they're smooth. Like when I run my finger across them, I can see them. A little bit of paint is going to make all that disappear.
You know,
like,
some 150 grit
no
over
questions.
it real quick, and they're just going to be gone.
Yeah, or just a layer
gone.
of primer, honestly, would probably cover the vast majority
It
of
might.
that. Paint covers a multitude of sins.
Everything. Well, I mean, guess what? You want to get into making props? Do you like sanding?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're going to show you how to
Yo,
sand.
dog, we heard you like sanding.
Yeah, we heard you love sanding. So you got to sand everything. You got to sand before you paint. You got to sand before you glue. You got to sand down your print lines. You got to sand down everything.
Yeah.
So if you don't like sanding, don't get in this hobby.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, just don't even bother.
Or just accept your fate. You know.
Then I guess the last jetpack we'll show off, and this was kind of the same idea.
You want to slide that one down. There you go.
So this is the Rising Phoenix, and some of the last parts, I started this a couple weeks ago before Fred dropped a few more parts that had to go on. And this is a Cam and Leon print setup. Again, he's just made some beautiful stuff. It's a back panel.
Yep. I'm just
it is
rotating
hollow.
it for the camera to be able to see it.
Yeah.
And they peg together.
Yeah, he's done keys absolutely everywhere. And it's just another one of those things that I'm really debating is, do you bother to take molds, or do we just do it printed and this little bit of assembly?
Yeah.
Because it's taking some of the fun out of it, and you've got your pros and your cons. Having things resin and rotocast is really nice, but the amount of cleanup that you have both ways. I mean, you're cleaning things up differently any way you look at it. You're cutting, you're sanding down seam lines, you're cutting out access ports. Well, all that stuff's already here for you.
Yep.
And it's kind of why I like the Foundling helmet. Like, that could be something that was a rotocast helmet, but why? Like, now you're just creating additional work.
Yeah.
By sanding seam lines, cutting out eye lenses, throwing more materials away. Ultimately, I'm starting to wonder, is printing potentially the future of prop making?
I think it,
I think it's getting there.
I don't know if it's going to be a future that cuts off all other means of production.
No,
but,
once you get into big parts like breastplates and whatnot, that's where it gets tough.
Yeah.
Like, that's not cost efficient.
Yeah.
And it gets more fragile at that point. You're having to reinforce seams, do things from the backside. You're adding a lot of extra weight, a shoulder bell,
and a lot of extra work.
Right. And at that point, we can just press that out on a machine or lay down some fiberglass.
And that's what we were talking about earlier is like, the ease of these going from what we had as just the concept of a model, it only existed in your mind or digitally. And now we've got finished products that are all very well designed. Everything keys and snaps together, a little bit of sanding, a little bit of glue. It really is kind of like a model kit, as opposed to like the old days of, like I was telling you, my very first convention panel that I attended was a panel on how to build your own props, because it was so rare that you could actually just order a prop. You had to build it. You had to make it, So hope that your dad had some tools out in the garage that you could use to turn a couple of chunks of 2x4, scrap 2x4 into whatever that blaster was that you wanted. So,
but learning how to do that can shape your entire life afterwards.
Oh yeah,
picking up that 1 2x6 and turning it into a gun stock. Like, look what you're doing the rest of your life now. You figured it out.
Yep.
No, that's just what you want. All right, I'm gonna move this and put down something normal. This stuff is still so amazing. Like, you've got shows that just came out what feels like a few weeks ago, and we're sitting here with stuff.
Yeah.
How many years did it take previously to get stuff? Like, we were talking about it before, how I wanted to be a stormtrooper my whole life, and that wasn't even a possibility until almost 20 years later, after the movie came out.
It seems like it had to be 6 months between when Rogue One came out and when, or was it even more? Was it even longer? When Rogue One came out and when we had...
No, we were working on stuff before the film came out.
Yeah, but
yeah,
when did we have the pieces, like you could actually have a wearable costume for the Shore Trooper?
We were pretty much at premiere.
I don't remember having Shore Troopers at premiere.
It wasn't the highest quality, but maybe it was. Maybe I'm a little bit wrong. Maybe
but
that
was a guy who had spent your entire life basically doing that sort of work.
The one thing we did beat to the movie were the Mud Troopers from Solo.
Yeah,
like as soon as they put out pictures, I looked at it and went like, okay, we can do this.
Yeah.
Like we got 3 months. All right.
Yeah,
we can do this. So like, but we did do the premiere.
That was with the benefit of your experience and the tools and everything like that. You figure somebody at home, when they see it on the screen, how long is it going to take them when they're having to puzzle through everything? And
you're a 3D designer, I've seen models as fast
I mean
as
back
the
in the day,
day.
before
way
the
back in the day.
Before the benefit.
All right,
of
before
3D
any of
printing.
this, you had to get out the clay and you had to start sculpting. Bare minimum, you're looking at 6 months.
Yeah,
bare minimum, and that's with having all the tools and the knowledge.
Yeah.
And
so imagine somebody who doesn't have the knowledge and may have to be working with, some or all of their tools as, found tools or created tools as opposed to, professional tools that would be used. It's kind of amazing to me to think, how far we've come.
And where are we going to go from here? Replicators.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tea, Earl Grey, hot.
That's right. That's right.
Well, we're probably going to end up with like the Hitchhiker's Guide replicators, where they keep trying to replicate tea, and it's not tea. It's what the computer thinks is tea, but it is definitely not.
Look, as long as I get my knife saver, toast
the automatic toaster
that toasts the bread as you cut it, I'm okay with bad tea. I'm not much of a tea drinker, so
get a hankering for it every once in a while. But you can never have too much of tea, Earl Grey hot.
Who drinks Earl Grey tea cold that he would have to specify that?
I mean, nobody.
Here in the U.S., we drink, iced tea,
but we're not using Earl Grey.
Yeah, it's not Earl Grey.
No, we're using Louisiane and.
Well, it's a different blend of tea leaves,
right? I don't know. Cold Earl Grey may not be bad with enough milk.
I don't know.
May not. Okay. Okay. That's your challenge.
Yeah.
Go home.
Here's your homework.
And you comment and tell us you tried cold Earl Grey tea, how you made it, and if it was any good.
Yeah.
Does Picard approve?
Yeah.
That's going to blow up the comments, isn't it? Just completely blow it up.
That it's either people are going to be like all about it, or everyone's going to hate it. They're going to be like, "This is Star Wars. Why are you talking about Star Trek?" Because it doesn't matter your fandom. Costuming is costuming.
I like Star Trek too. It's fine. I don't mind watching it. There's very few series I personally will not watch.
Yeah.
Avatar is one. It's about the weird blue people.
I watched Way of Water. My oldest daughter was in town last week, and we watched The Way of Water. It wasn't terrible.
I just refuse. James Cameron went off the deep end after Titanic, and like Titanic's another one, I refuse to ever watch Titanic. They made such a big deal of it back in the day about how it beat Star Wars as the #1 grossing movie of all time. At that point, I just went, nope, that's it. I'm not giving him a dime. Not watching it.
Maybe by raw, dollar
inflation
amount,
figures and all
was
that
it adjusted
stuff.
for inflation?
Yeah, it was adjusted for inflation. It beat it. Well, now you get movies. If it doesn't make $1 billion, it was a failure.
Yeah. Well, especially movies with the international market.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
movies, it's a whole different.
Other series I will not touch. My family's just not into Harry Potter. We just don't do it. Nothing I want to get into against it, but
just not for you.
It's just not us. Yeah. It's whatever.
Well, it's it's the same way when people say that I'm just not really into Star Wars. Tried watching. Okay,
that's fine.
No big deal. There's nothing wrong with that.
What do you like?
So
Elizabethan dramas. No, just kidding. No, my wife watches Elizabethan dramas. I just go to the other room.
Yeah, my wife watches some of that. She did get me to watch Downton Abbey, which isn't Elizabethan, I don't think.
Close enough. I think that's early 1900s set. And it's Downton
it starts
Abbey, not Downtown Abbey.
Downton.
I've been corrected on that.
Yeah, it starts pre-World War I.
Okay,
because
so that's early
during
1900s.
I think the second season, some of the characters are off fighting in the war.
Have you been forced into watching Virgin River?
No.
Okay. If you want to throw your remote at the TV, go watch Virgin River on Netflix.
I'll pass. I'm good.
It is horrible. It is just so terrible. Yeah, my wife and her sister-in-law, they watch it. Oh goodness, they're coming into town in a couple of weeks too. Oh, they're going to watch it. I know it. No, I have to leave. It's just so dumb. I guess it was based off some novels.
Riverdale.
Riverdale.
Has your wife watched that one?
No. Is that the superhero kids or
no?
Or
it's
Archie?
Archie and Jughead.
That's right. I read about it. It was just kind of like, I'm not watching this.
Oh, I've watched a few episodes with my wife, and even she admits it is so bad. She's like, at this point I'm watching it just to finish it out because I'm already this far through.
Well, now we're just talking about bad shows.
Bad. Yeah.
This is what we've declined into. That's fine. We've gone from prop extravaganza to what fandoms do we not
TV
like
shows.
and bad TV. Hey, there's actually one TV show that I kind of liked in the beginning, but the more the seasons went on, the less I could really watch it because it just felt too teeny bopper. Cobra Kai.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I enjoyed that one all the way through.
I liked the first couple of seasons, and then it just started getting so cheesy. It's just campy. It's corny.
Well, it's designed to try and capture both audiences: the nostalgia of the people our age who watched the original Karate Kids, but also bring in the younger generation, so they have the younger
that's the
stars
only reason
and the
I
younger
even
drama.
wanted to watch it was there's a little nostalgia here, and I feel like they got through it in the first couple of seasons.
I enjoyed it all the way through.
I don't know.
I enjoyed it all the way through.
It's just campy. Maybe I'm not a big fan of camp anymore, with the exception of Starship Troopers. Would you like to know more?
Dude, I've been enjoying the heck out of
you still playing that game?
The video game, yeah, the Starship Troopers Extermination. Oh yeah. When my internet actually works, I'm playing it. good old Northwest Florida internet.
Well, when we were looking at it, it had that kind of Left 4 Dead kind of vibe too, where you're being bum rushed.
Yeah, but it's not like. Well, yeah, Left 4 Dead is against the zombie horde. I was thinking of what's the one where you're playing against the serial killer, where there's 4 players versus 1 player as the serial killer. I don't know.
There's the Friday the 13th game.
That's another one.
Yeah.
But yeah, Left 4 Dead is a similar. You've got a group of players versus a never-ending AI horde, and that's what Starship Troopers Extermination is. It's 16 players broken up into 4-man squads against never-ending waves of bugs while
and that's
you
just
accomplish
Those are
your missions.
the fun games.
Yeah.
Everything doesn't have to be battle royale now.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be PvP.
I think I had more fun playing things like Gears of War with friends and Left 4 Dead with friends, and then the genre's just gone.
Yeah.
And
no, it's there. It just games. They get warped over time. As new players demand different things and
the pay to win models.
Yeah.
Like whenever I hear somebody, I opened a chest and blah 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 game and got this skin that's worth $700.
We're not even going to go there with loot crates and things like. Yeah, we're not even going to touch that.
I think I jumped off that ship a long time ago, like with the first Battlefront re-release. It was just too pay to win.
Yep.
Like I'm not doing that. Or I'd be running up to the coin to get the ship, and somebody would run right in front of me and get the ship. It's like, that's it, I'm done.
No. The getting the Darth Vader character unlock. If you didn't pay for it, the amount of time that it would take a player to grind, it worked out to like years, literal years of gameplay, of playing the game 24/7.
I got 30 minutes
the numbers on it. Yeah, and that was the worst part of the pay to win, because a paid player could get it, but even the paid players were getting screwed on some of them. You wouldn't, like Vader was one, if I'm remembering it correctly, you couldn't get Vader until you had unlocked every other skin, but they didn't remove duplicates. So you would have to
I got other
open
things to do with my life than that.
Potentially hundreds of loot boxes in order to get Vader as a playable character.
Nah, I'm not doing that.
So
no, I mean, I'm balking right now. I want to play Diablo 4. I want to get it.
Yeah,
I'm balking at $70.
Yeah, I know.
I would have paid $60.
I don't pay full price for games.
I'm not paying
man.
$70. I will wait 6 months or wait for a sale.
Yeah,
I'm not that desperate to play it.
I'll wait for a Steam sale. I'm good.
I'm fine. I want to play it. Looks like fun.
Actually, that worked out in my favor when Cyberpunk 2077 was released. When I was a kid, Cyberpunk was like my absolute favorite RPG. I can't tell you how many weekends we spent in my room, me, my brother, and a bunch of our friends playing Cyberpunk 2020. So when Cyberpunk 2077 was being hyped, I was like, man, I really want to get it. I really want to get it. And it came out, and it was abysmal. And now it's on sale. They fixed all the bugs. Well, most of the bugs. It's on sale because they just dropped their new DLC. So with the DLC, you're paying less than you would pay for the base game. So yeah, I'm going to be picking that up.
I can see that now.
Yeah.
But I really think about that, though. Wait a minute. It was Cyberpunk 2020?
Yeah, it was the RPG. Yeah, the tabletop role-playing game, pen and paper, that I actually still play with some friends.
And this year's
every other weekend I
right?
drive over. Yeah, we're in 2023.
Okay, just making sure.
Well, it's an alternate history thing. Like the history started to diverge like back in the 70s.
Okay,
so
that's fine.
I'm
just like, okay, what? We don't have any of that technology. Like, where's our flying cars?
I know, right?
I want 8 years
my
overdue.
Flying cars.
We're 8 years overdue for flying cars.
Jetsons, you set a high bar. All right, where's my flying car?
I think George Jetson is like a toddler right now in the timeline.
I don't even remember. I thought that the Jetsons was set in the year 2000 or something like that. I might be completely off base there.
But then again, whenever we had our actual space race, actually before the space race, it was inconceivable that we'd even have airplanes. And yet, less than 30 years later, I think, or 50 years later.
In the span of a single human life, we went from horse and buggy to cars, airplanes, manned space flight, men on the moon.
How do we explain that? Aliens.
Well,
Roswell.
if you believe the headlines about that whistleblower that came forward, we have, alien craft in our possession.
We've had okay. Now we're really diverging. We've
We're
gone
just-
from prop
we're
extravaganza
so far out
to
there.
movies we don't like to video games to aliens.
That's right.
Like, pick a topic, guys.
I need
Just
my
pick a
Giorgio
topic.
Tsoukalos wig.
I'm not.
They're aliens.
And the reason we diverged, aliens.
That's right.
This is why our whole podcast today is just totally in the shitter. Totally. We're done. We're done. We're terrible people.
They're beaming. You know what it is we're getting too close to talking about something important. So the aliens are beaming their rays into our brain to interfere with our train of thought, which is throwing us off.
Well, I got news for them. I don't have a brain.
I thought you were about to grab a piece of tinfoil from somewhere and turn it into a hat real quick.
If I had a piece of tinfoil, I
The way
probably
you
would.
were looking at me like he's going to whip a piece of tinfoil
Look, man,
out from somewhere and turn it into a hat real quick.
There's 2 brain cells in there fighting for dominance right now. Okay? That's all that's left. This morning, I started out my morning sanding Bondo. And
Yeah.
Larry came in, and I had like Bondo dust all over me.
You've inhaled too
Yeah,
much
I
Bondo
just kinda
dust
scooped
and
up, like,
paint
well, Larry,
fumes over
I need to
the
get my
years.
morning started right. Scooped off all the dust in my hand. Yeah. Now I've got like half a brain cell left. Yeah, just
Jeez.
like that. Yeah, that's how my days always start. Basically doing this.
Yeah, doing what you got to do. You're working on the next person in the
I mean,
queues.
I guarantee by the time you wake up, I've probably accomplished more in the 4 hours I've been working than you do the rest of
Well,
the
yeah,
day.
but
probably.
considering my sleep schedule, I sleep until noon. I'm a night owl. I don't go to bed till 3 a.m. So
I was like begging to go to bed last night at 6:30. I was tired. Yeah, I know. No, 9 o'clock rolls around for me at this point, and it's like, nah, you're done. You're done. It's time to go lay down, catch up on your memes, pass out.
Yep.
That's it. That's all I got in me. And I used to be a night owl. I used to love staying up till 11 midnight, watching stuff, playing games.
My back injury is the only thing that allows that. If I were still having to work, I wouldn't be able to live a night owl schedule. I'd have to live whatever my work schedule needed me to be.
Yeah, at least when you're out doing the Ubering thing and whatnot, you're getting the good drunks.
Yeah. Friday, Saturday nights.
Yeah, add an extra 0 to that.
Well, it's high demand, so you
Of course. Yeah.
automatically get better pay. So
Ooh, all right. We got anything else going on? I mean, we've covered everything that we're doing in the shop. I mean, just to kind of bring all that stuff back in. When we did that project announcement, however many episodes ago, because I can say
3 or
weeks.
4 episodes ago.
It was probably more than that. It was
Something- I don't
No, you're
remember.
probably about right. It's probably about 4 episodes
That's
ago.
that's what I'm
at
thinking.
this point. Like we are well above and beyond schedule, and almost to the point where we're already starting to kind of slow it down a little bit because we're pretty hyped up. We got plenty of new stuff, plenty of new offerings for everybody. It's been a fun few months, and yeah, after we finish a couple more little things, I'm going to be easing back my schedule a little bit because it's just been.
You've been grinding it too hard.
Just grinding. I've already eased back a little bit, but it's not sustainable. But I'm real happy with what we've seen, what we've put out, and the points we've been able to prove that we can make some pretty nice stuff pretty fast.
Yeah.
And
and discovering some fantastic artists along the way. I
Definitely.
mean, some of these guys that you've been pulling out over the past couple of episodes, like the stuff that they're designing is phenomenal.
Right. I run across stuff all the time. I was looking at a random jetpack on Etsy. It's like a custom design. But like when you look at the design, it's got this big kind of cylindrical center section. And you just think, how cool would that be to do that in like clear resin? And then, colors on the other side and then light it all up on the inside.
Yeah.
Like just the thoughts and the design on that. It was like a custom design. I don't think it mimicked anything in specific. Yeah, I mean there are some good people, and like always, I'll just tell you, I'll just make stuff and have fun. Go to your conventions, get in your garages, go to your armor parties, get out there, make stuff, and have fun.
Yeah.
I call this work, but part of it's still fun.
And wear stuff and have fun.
Wear
really.
stuff and have fun.
The making stuff is simply to enable the wearing.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure that there's a lot of costumers that enjoy the process of the build, like a model kit or something like that. For me, the fun is, being in that costume and going and seeing people smile.
I'm a little all-encompassing on that.
How hard has it been to get me in for an armor party, one of your weekend armor spots? How long have Jess and I had those?
Well, I think it's going to be July 22nd, whatever Saturday's around there. So that's the next one.
But how long have we had those two kits sitting in boxes in the garage, never getting worked on? To me, 3 years.
3 years.
3 years.
3 years. And it's like almost
That's
the point. It's like just bring it to me and pick it up in 2 days. It is tedious until you've done it enough.
No, even then, it's still tedious. I used to do builds for you. It's still tedious.
There are tedious things that I personally won't do.
Yeah.
Or just refuse to. And it's like, I'm above this. No. You do it. Yeah, I'm not doing it. I've got other things to do that are more important. You can do it. It's great. But since Larry's been working with us too, you remember Larry from one of our early episodes? Yeah, he's started working for us now. He just kind of showed up and never left.
That's how a lot of people get involved. They show up and just sort of hang around and don't go away. And eventually they're like, "Oh yeah, that's Larry. He works here. He does these. He's been doing this costume assembly for us."
It is, but the more Larry got involved, actually during that podcast episode, I was kind of taken aback. It's like, you've been doing this stuff for 20 years and you're just now like really getting involved. That's what it was like during that episode. And he was kind of coming around and picking stuff up, and he'd show up randomly and kind of say hey and hang out a few hours. And and then he just kind of started coming in and working. Like, all right, you can work.
He found his motivation.
Yeah, it's like we throw him a few bucks for his gas money, and we do a lot of quid pro quo. It's like, okay, man, what kit you want me to make you this week?
That's the best part of people coming to work for you is they're never like, oh, I need you to pay me. They're like, nah, I need
$82,000 a year. It's like, oh, I just want a kit. I'm like, all right, that's fine. I mean, it keeps our accounting kind of straight. Even before he left today, he was just going, here, want me to put that together? I'm like, okay, do it. Like, let me put your blaster together. Okay. And comes back like 30 minutes later. Here it is. Needs some filling, but it's good. Like, thanks, dude. It was on my workbench, but I'd get to it one day.
Yeah, saved you a little bit of time.
Dude, no. I mean, this tanker, juggernaut helmet, whatever. This thing was sitting on my workbench for like 2 weeks. The bottom cut out, and I looked at it the other day. So I went, you know what? You're just going to finish it. I need to make room on the bench. And I need to get that costume done. That's one of the things for me. I like to build. I do like to wear. But that's a new costume. And it's
your costume ADHD set in.
A little bit. Like the pile of boxes.
Any costumer knows that. Your costume ADHD.
Yeah, it does. Like, I usually keep all my customer builds behind my workbench in boxes. And that's been whittled down to like practically nothing. But I've started piling up personal boxes. So I've got, my Stormtrooper for my Incinerator Trooper. I had my Juggernaut driver there. I've got my animated clone. I've got my custom Mandalorian. My wife's custom Mandalorian. All that stuff's kind of piling up back there. And I kind of looked at that pile and went, let's get rid of a box.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's honestly, for that Juggernaut driver, I want to say it was maybe 3 hours of actual armor building.
Yeah, well, there's so
it's
little.
Nothing. There's really nothing to it.
Chest and back, or is it just a chest on that?
It's chest, it's back. I mean, there's a lot of details and junk on it, and then you got your little shin guards, you got some biceps, you got some shoulder bells, and really that's it. I mean, there was just nothing to it. So, and I got my jacket from Imperial Boots that barely fits. Order a size up if you're questioning, definitely. But I wanted that comfortable costume for the next time that I'm able to do a troop.
Yeah.
And that is a comfortable costume to me. Just something simple, no abdomen armor, no leg armor, just helmet, upper body, some shins, some jack boots, and you're good to go. But yeah, that's definitely costume ADD.
Yep.
And now that I'm pretty much done with it, it's time to work on customer stuff again. I got those 2 Death Troopers back there I need to just get done. And they're done. Yeah, I know. They've been waiting for that final assembly for like 4 months. But I've had other things going on in between. It happens.
Yep, it happens.
It just happens. All right, well, short and sweet, totally random episode.
Yeah, very random.
Very random. Next episode, we promise there will be a concise topic that we will proudly ramble off on 10 other topics on.
Yeah.
Why not?
Maybe-ish.
There will be one
Sort
topic.
of.
A topic.
At least. There will at least be a topic.
A topic.
We will talk about at least one thing.
One thing. When you find out what that one thing is, you let us know. And don't forget to comment how you like to drink your Earl Grey tea. Do you
That's
like
right.
it hot or do
Or
you like
cold.
it cold? Because we got to announce our new sponsor next week.
Oh, God. We got to stop with the whole fake sponsor thing. We're going to get a cease and desist letter from somebody. They're going to be like, we haven't sponsored you.
But
Stop
it's
talking
free
about
advertising. How can you not like the free advertising for all 900 views that we get? You know. Thanks, Mom. Thanks for watching, Mom.
That's right. That's right.
All 800 times.
Only about 750. There are other people that watch us.
All right, y'all tell us how you like your Earl Grey tea in the comments. Let's get that comment section boiling.
Oh, like 8 of our viewers.
Yes, I better get some notifications going. And if you haven't tried your Earl Grey tea in different ways, then go try it. Let us know how you made it, and let us know how it tasted. All right, we'll see y'all next time. Brought to you by Lipton.